Hi. Zugi, thank you for 68 months. Rasp, thank you for 86 months. How's it going? I'm okay, I guess. Oh, a fried banana. I've never had a fried banana. Had a rough work day, as I'm sure is obvious. Pardon me. There's been this project that's been kind of like a nightmare project, and it sort of limped over the finish line, and there's like various deadlines associated with it, and so I was busting my ass try to kick it back onto the rails, you know. I did as much as I could stand to, and then I'm gonna have to get right back on it tomorrow morning. I'm so tired, man. Hey, Zick, how you doing? Yeah, it's been a bit. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Pardon me, excuse me, shit, god damn it, fuck. That almost made me yawn again. Sith, thank you for the biddies. Yeah. I imagine it's rough for anybody who wants to watch my streams when I go down into like a multi month playthrough of a single game. I don't know why I'm like this. I miss Gmod. I kind of feel like I had an infinite appreciation for it. I would still be playing today if anybody else had wanted to, but everybody didn't want to. Yeah, I saw that whole thing, the Nintendo cease and desist. I really don't understand that, but like, it's not probably worth spending any brain power on. There's always going to be some fucking lawyer logic labyrinth of like, Well, they have to defend their properties. Like, if they just let people upload these models to the Steam Workshop, then Nintendo won't own them anymore. You know, some fucking madness like that. To my mind, it feels like it. All it does is it's like bad sentiment in the general community. It's like kind of feels like Nintendo's just out to whip your ass for liking them. I don't feel like I don't feel like any of that stuff is really taking anything away from Nintendo. Well, genuinely though, Sith, there are weird, unintuitive things. I mean, the most famous examples are like when a trademark becomes like a dictionary word, and then you like the company loses the sort of I
It
don't
looks
know
like if you touched him, you would both enjoy it.
they lose the ownership over it or whatever. Flynn, thank you for 85 months. I mean, the first thing that came to my mind was the whole like Google thing, like where people started saying I'm googling it. You know, it became a verb. But
Thank you
that
for the dicks.
previous, thank you for 104 dicks. Um, this actually loops back to Nintendo again because people had this habit in the like earlier days of the video game consoles of just calling every video game console a Nintendo. And I think Nintendo tried to combat that or something. I don't quite remember. Right? Who has ever actually lost their trademark? Did Adobe do did they do something to like do something about that at some point? I don't know that story. Anyway, yeah. I mean, ultimately, I think it's just a bad move. I think it just makes Nintendo look bad, but this is also sort of their MO now. This is their rep that they already have. They would have to they would have to do a lot of work to get back to just sort of a an okay standing with people. This is just another cherry on top of the shit pie. They might, yeah. It's hard to say. It's hard to ever know what they might do. Crescent Wrench is a band name. I made a comment in Justin's chat the other day because they were talking about bands. He was talking about bands with somebody he knew in chat, and the band names they were saying. Basically, what I said was like, without the context of knowing that any of these are bands, it would be impossible to know what the fuck you guys are talking about because all of these band names are just like some shit somebody saw. What were they? There was one that was like just the name of a vending company, basically, like vending machines. It was something vending. Oh yeah, actually, one of Apple's earliest battles was against the Beatles Well, actually, they were in the other position where, um, I guess, I guess the Beatles had their own like publishing company or record company or something, but it was called like Apple. And so the Beatles went after Apple Computer. The iTunes. I mean, it's so much older than that. I don't remember when this all went down. Probably the 80s? Might have been the early 80s. Oh, dude. I feel chewed up. That's where I'm at. uh, really? They went at it twice. That's wild. The funny thing is that I'm pretty sure Steve Jobs was like um, a big simp for the Beatles. Yeah, he was a big piece of shit. It's wild how much of a fucker he was. It's really bittersweet for me because I used to think he was pretty interesting when I was completely naive about who he actually was. And then it was just one of those things where like the layers of the onion started to come off, you know. Initially, there was that fucking movie they used to show everybody who was within like 50 miles of computer science. Um, Pirates of Silicon Valley. I feel like that was standard issue. Like they made everybody who ever touched a computer watch that. And if you don't know what that is, it's just this dramatization of like the the sort of origin story of Steve Jobs and Bill Gates. And it doesn't really, it's a dramatization. It's really not like actually reflective of real events. A lot of stuff is made up. But a lot of it is also based off of things that were known. So that was when I first got got the knowledge of like that Steve was kind of known for being like a horrific asshole to his employees. I don't know that I agree. I don't think it was that. It didn't it didn't make either of them look good. But it definitely didn't make them look as bad as they are. Well, I don't really know about Bill Gates. I mean, I know that he's a piece of shit in some ways. Uh, but at the moment, the scale is tipped way more towards Steve because I know so much more about what a piece of shit Steve Jobs is. Because it's just it's fucking nuts. I think people people for the most part are generally still pretty unaware. Like I think people know that like they know the stuff about him yelling at employees and shit like that. But the shit that he pulled like with his daughter and her mom, what he did to the other early employees of Apple when the big payout came and he cut everybody out, fucked everybody over really badly for no apparent reason other than I guess just greed. It was it was really it would just not have hurt him at all. And so it kind of just comes across as like straight up malicious. Um, he would yell at children for no apparent reason. Like he just unloaded on an 8 year old, I guess. Like he was yelling at an adult. One of the things he said to this kid was that they need to get their shit together. No, no. This is like unhinged shit. Like he was absolutely fucking unhinged. There's that story of how he stole from Woz, where early on they did this. They worked on this thing together for Atari. It was actually it was sort of a contract that Jobs got because Atari needed something. They needed some game made really quickly, but they needed the chip size reduced or something like that to make it fit on the cartridge. Jobs Jobs doesn't really know anything, so he couldn't actually even do the job. So he brought Woz into it, and I don't know. There was something like if it was completed, and this only Jobs knew this side of it. If it was completed, they got something like I don't know, like $900 or something like that. But also a bonus of it was either like $5,000 or $10,000. I think it might have been $10,000, which is a fuck ton back then. Well, inflation. It's probably not that much, but like, it's still a lot of money. And Jobs just didn't tell Woz about the bonus, and the smaller amount they split. So Woz didn't even get. Woz did like all the work. He only got half of what was paid out of the normal rate and got none of the bonus. And it's like, why? You guys were both working together towards the same thing. Like it's and Woz and Jobs are like opposites. Like when Jobs was cutting people out of uh, getting payouts when they went I don't know, IPO or whatever. Woz was giving up portions of himself to some of these people to make sure that they got something. These are people who helped them build the first computers before they really got on, really got moving. Before they started to really make money. I don't know that narcissist is even a sufficient description. I mean, I think he was a lot of things. I think he was a bit narcissist, a bit sociopath, yeah, a bit psychopath. Because there's also that shit where he didn't like fucking bathe himself for 20 years. There's also that. um, God, the fucking thing he did with when he was dying. I think it's well known that he fucked around. He was doing dumb shit. I don't remember the details of bullshit that he was going after. It was stuff like, oh well, I'm only gonna eat fruit, or whatever, and that'll just make it go away. So, what was it that he had? Prostate. It might have been prostate cancer. I don't remember, but the particular kind of cancer that he had, it's got like a 90. Oh, it was pancreas. Okay, so it's got like a 90%. Um, word is not coming to my mind. I don't know. Its kill death ratio is really high. Uh, unless you're super fucking lucky and they find it super fucking early. Mortality rate. Thank you. That's what I was looking for. It just has a high KD. Uh, and they did find it. He was super lucky, and he didn't let them just operate and take care of it.
My prostate.
Foxborn, thank you for the biddies. It was something about like he didn't want his body to be violated that way, some stupid bullshit like that. And then he fucked around for 6 months, and it spread. And it spread to, I think it was his liver is the story. And he fucked around. Like, if you have money, you can abuse the organ transplant list system. And he did that to get I believe it was a liver transplant, to just die with that. Like, just waste a transplant because he just chose to be a dumbass about it. He didn't need a transplant in the first place. The only reason he needed it was because he was being a fucking idiot. Essentially, yeah, you can pay somebody to just go around and put you on all the lists, yeah. And then just go wherever the organ is. It's just fucking bullshit. Like, just in every way that he could be the most selfish shithead imaginable, he was. Nice, Abe. The only sort of glimmer of good out of the whole stupid Steve Jobs story is, according to his daughter, he had a moment where she had visited him shortly before he passed, and he seemed to have had oh fuck. At least with respect to her, maybe not like everything, but he definitely had like a remorseful, like, I don't know what the fuck I was thinking. I don't know why I treated you the way I did. Apologetic, the whole shebang. So he kind of got to have what we wish on a lot of these fucks, of like having to face the horror of the hell that they created for everyone else. Yeah. So, like, comparatively, I don't I don't think we have this level of information about Gates's life, so it's hard to say how much of a piece of shit he is. But like, given the track record of people, who knows? He's certainly done things that are like gross from just a financial, yeah, like landlordy type piece of shititude. But I think if I didn't know all this shit about Steve Jobs, I would have considered them essentially equivalent. But Steve is all that plus. Is that does that clarify what I'm driving at here? I'm not exonerating Gates. I am vilifying Jobs. I only know a few of the really obviously shitty things that Gates did, like that. God, that one dude, like the actual original creator of DOS or whatever, that got fucked. It might not have been DOS. It might have been something earlier than DOS. That's a pretty famous story. That guy, I don't remember exactly what happened, but like he did not have a good life. I often wonder about stuff like that where it's like, why couldn't, why did it have to go that way? Why couldn't he have joined them? Why did they have to scam him in particular? Why were the people that were on one side of it not on the other side of it, and vice versa? You know what I'm saying? I I don't understand sometimes the uh, the strange machinations of just like why people choose to do certain things the way they do. Eh. With Gabe, it's I mean, I still like Gabe. It's a little harder to. Sorry, waiting for the wee woo to go. It's a little harder to put like a neat little bow on it. Like, just here's the bullet list. There's certainly things, but it's much more nebulous, right? Like, Steam takes a pretty big cut. What is it? It's like 30%. Maybe Steam could take less of a cut than that. I don't know. Um, I don't know. He's kind of unique. Like his path to where he is a bit like kind of weirder and differenter. Because it's not a whole lot different than just like somebody who sets out to like make an indie game. It's just that it was wildly successful and continued to be. It just sort of kept on going. Mm, there's things to criticize in the service. The DRM, first and foremost, I mean, it is a DRM system. And I know Gabe has said blah, blah, blah. Like, I don't remember exactly what he said. Something along the lines of, like, if anything, like, if Steam was going to go down, like, if Steam was going to go out of business, that they would, like, flip this switch and everybody just gets to keep their shit that they bought, but I don't know. I don't know if I believe that, man. Like, the thing with companies is that they are not an extension of a person. They are their own organism, and they change. And Steam seems like it's very likely going to outlive its creator, or really creators. And once those people are gone, you know, it's very easy to change a policy. I mean, just look at Google. They chipped "Don't be evil" off of their wall, you know, which is fucking. I mean, like, first of all, why'd they even fucking do it in the first place? But then taking it down is such a, I don't even. It's just inherently funny on either end. Like, Google used to be a darling company because they just did nerdy stuff and they provided good services, and now all of their services are degrading, and they're really just sort of they're the big evil thing that they supposedly didn't want to become. Like, that's because no one really has control over the thing. It's an organism that's molded and shaped over time and shifting and changing. Corporations are just sort of inherently, I mean, especially with the infinite profit, infinite growth um, sort of philosophy that dominates modern capitalism. That's what every successful company will become. It's always going to eventually become like nothing but a stockholder enrichment vehicle. Now, Steam is a private company, so there isn't that sort of stockholder thing, but you could easily imagine. I mean, like, it's just a matter of like the wrong people coming in and being like, "Why aren't we milking the shit out of this? Why aren't we? Why haven't we done an IPO?" And then it's all fucking downhill from there. Because after that, there's the only incentives really that remain are once there's like stockholders involved. Once you've gone public, the only incentives that have any force is to put all resources into stock buybacks and shareholder enrichment. That's every fucking I've just written every past and future Last Week Tonight episode for you. You don't need to watch that show now, because every fucking episode is about some corporation doing some fucked up shit, and the reason is always, oh well, we wanted to buy back stocks. you know Why? Well, it just it gives the stockholders like lots of money, lots of money. We got rid of the division that makes sure that the wings stay on, or whatever, you name it. It's just
Ready
always
for
the
my
same
beating.
fucking story. And that's where all corporations eventually go. Tony, thank you for 103 months. Yeah, I super, super, super don't. I don't believe in the idea of it being possible for there to be some sort of altruistic uh, company. That shit. This is also why, like, the whole idea of that the free markets will do anything positive is utter fucking nonsense. It's super fucking naive. Like, you'd have to be just born yesterday every day to think that that makes any kind of fucking sense. Because I look around, just fucking look around. Uh, there may have been a time where we were kind of close to the idea that, like, oh, well, companies just, the way for a company to succeed is just to be the best at the thing they do, just to make their customers the most happy. But they spent the past 100 fucking years building a system that negates the need for customers. They've built a system where they just vacuum up the money and they kind of hold it in this cloud and pass it around to each other. But there's no need really, except for like at the very early portion of the company, like the early days when you need to get that valuation, you know, you have to get big enough to get some skin in the game. But once you've done that, once you get over that hump, customers don't matter anymore. Service doesn't matter anymore. Quality, none of that shit. You say will. I say do. Massively, they do that. Have been doing that. We have bigger monopolistic antitrust shit going on today than when the government went after Microsoft. And I don't know if you've noticed, but nobody's going after these companies anymore. That doesn't happen anymore. It's it very much feels like it won't happen ever again. Yeah. Well, that's, over time, the lobbying and whatnot has eroded away all of the things that were learned during the Great Depression, like leading into, during, and after the Great Depression. The Great Depression was this fucking massive wake up call, like, oh shit. So if we don't regulate these companies, if we don't protect consumers and workers, they will put children in coal mines. They'll dump chemicals in drinking water. They'll whatever. They'll do whatever they want. I guess we have to do something about it. Who could have predicted this? Um, and like immediately after the Great Depression, that was sort of the peak of all that. And then it's just been eroding and eroding and eroding. And now we're at a time where there aren't enough people who, I don't know, care about that, I guess, or know about it or whatever. I mean, it's not like it's a secret, but they don't teach you in school in this country anyway, in the United States, and I don't know, probably not anywhere. They don't teach you things about, like, you get like the sort of bare facts. Like, you may know that unions existed, but you won't be probably taught, like, why unions mattered. That sort of thing. Like, you'll know things exist, you won't know really quite why. Fucking dude, the FTC is about to have no power to do anything ever again. It doesn't really matter who's in there. The FDA has no power to fucking do anything. The EPA has no power to do anything. These fucking commissions and committees and whatever have had ideologues installed as their leaders by alternating presidents for years and years and years, and every time it's just they've been gutted and gutted and gutted and gutted, and they're toothless. They can't do anything now. They have no ability to do anything. Is that a recent change? Last I heard, the FDA was underfunded, understaffed, and the vast majority of things they don't have the ability to basically do shit. It would have to have vastly fucking improved in the past 3 years. Yeah, I guess there is that. Whatever happened with the Reese's cup mug guy? That piece of shit. What was his name? Ajit Pai? All right. Well, I mean, I don't have numbers up in front of me. My understanding, and maybe it's out of date, was that the FDA is underfunded, understaffed. It's possible I'm confusing him with another department. Maybe I'm thinking of something else. It's so hard to like. There's no search results are really turning to shit too, so it's hard to find anything. Hmm. Let's see. GAO report. Wow, this is not a very helpful sentence. For example, between 2018 through July 2023, the FDA was so understaffed that it failed to complete 30% of an undisclosed type of common inspection. Okay. Maybe that's, I guess, something that would not be good if people knew what it was. Security through obscurity. I don't know what that one means. Da, da, da. FDA agrees with GAO's recommendation and is currently developing an action plan. Okay. I guess I would amend what I would say to they're not as powerful as they should be, if that satisfies you. I'll admit that, I mean, when I speak on this stuff, I'm basically speaking like emotionally. I'm not a researcher. And I know in the general case, I am correct in that there is significant degradation in these departments. Like there may be small wins or whatever, but they've been getting chipped away at for a long time. And there's been a pattern for fucking decades of installing people as the heads of these organizations that have direct conflicts of interest. I don't remember who they all are, but I know that there was at some point there was whoever was in charge of the FCC was like a telco shill. EPA similarly had someone like from the oil industry leading it. Fucking DeJoy was put in charge of the USPS and still is, I think. Massive conflicts of interest having, what was it? Some involvement with UPS. I don't remember the details. Yeah, Ajit Pai was telecom. I mean, they do that shit for a reason, right? Hello, Miss Bun. I would imagine that's the argument people would make, but then when you look at, all you have to do is look at what those people have said and what they do. I mean, you can easily look at what Ajit Pai did, right? You can look at what DeJoy has done. That's another thing with regulations and regulators is that corporations hate that shit. And also, small business people tend to LARP as though they are like huge giant businesses or something, and like you can't have a company because of regulations. You have to jump through all these hoops. Yeah, well, we need those. We need those badly. It's important to remember that regulations are written in blood. Because the profit motive will, like, unchecked, we have all the evidence. just all we have to do is walk backwards through history. Unregulated corporations are definitely not something that we want. Absolutely not something that we want. God, look at the fucking PFOA shit, the Teflon shit with 3M and DuPont. Microplastics as well. This shit that like is in all of us. This is the stuff they'll do when they think that they can get away with it. And also, they do get away with it as well. I don't think anybody's ever really not gotten away with this stuff. All we've managed to really do is stop or reduce how often these things are happening. But nobody really ever faces any consequences for this shit. Unless they fuck up so hard that there's no way to escape the consequences. Like FTX, Enron, Bernie Madoff. I don't even know. It's hard to really come up with a lot of examples. Hey, Babby.
Those are my favorite colors. It looks good though.
Does look good. I don't know. Might be stolen valor.
I mean, is it wrong?
Let's see what chat thinks. What if you like a color scheme,
They're the ones that pointed it out.
but the color scheme is the asexual flag?
I'm getting new glasses, and it's the pair I wear ones where they have the extra frames. And they made an asexual flag one that looks really cool. And it's all of my favorite colors. And it looks nice. And I kind of want them.
All right, you have Foxborn's sign off. So all the consequences will fall on Foxborn and Foxborn alone.
I don't know who I file permission to.
It do. Trans flag as well. But y'all knew that.
The agender flag is actually pretty cool too. Just a little bit of green in there.
I don't think I was even aware of that one.
Me neither.
Never seen it.
There's a couple of these that I have not seen. I don't like the non-binary flag.
Let me see it.
It's almost, but they added bright yellow, which just seems
Oh, yeah.
wrong.
We're not big fans of yellow. That I like. What
The
one is
gender
that?
fluid.
Gender fluid, eh? I like those colors. Basically, if it looks like retro wave 80s neon, I'm a sucker for that.
You'd like the lesbian. The lesbian's nice.
Yeah, I like that one. I like that one too, even though it's got some yellow on it. The pansexual flag.
Yeah, but it's not a lot of yellow because it's just on the sides. It's not the top and bottom.
We're not looking at flags, by the way.
You
We're not
mean-
like going through like, I like this flag.
The transgender.
Yeah.
kind of nice, even though I'm not big on pink.
Oh, yeah, that's the everything.
Yeah.
Like, it actually works better than you would think.
Yeah, I know, right?
Ooh. The drag queens?
Yeah, they're little drag queens.
What? Oh, they are. I thought it was just like speckled colors.
Nope, it's actual drag queens.
Ooh. That's a pretty sick design.
Yeah. Look at this one. It's cats.
Oh, yeah, that's cool too.
It's rainbow cats.
Those look pretty nice, but they're like too noisy. This is a
Yeah.
better version of kind of similar where it's just sort of.
It's
Oh,
like
yeah, it's just a
speckled
bokeh.
rainbow.
Yeah, I like that.
And then they do actually just have paint splatter. Rainbow.
And oddly enough, that one doesn't really look that great.
No, it doesn't.
I like the ones that have more of a gradient going on.
That one's cute. I don't think that one's too busy. They did it in a good way, but like I don't really like it. It's nicely done, but I wouldn't wear it, if that makes sense.
Wait, what were you gonna be upset about? Oh, because of the. Yeah. It was just like really, more than half of it was yellow. Oh, little paw prints.
Yeah.
Pico being a shithead. They call me Ace Roller Coaster.
Yeah, that's it. That's the only one I really want is the asexual.
Well, we got the committee together and they approved it, so I think you're good.
I just feel like somebody might ask. Because I don't dress asexually.
That is the only problem, is that it is very. It's not just the color scheme. Like that's
Yeah.
a signal. But
Yeah.
we don't go outside, so.
That's true. But then I would feel like an asshole if somebody ever called me on it. Also, they either took out more poop or took the poop out of the trash can. I'm not sure.
All right, cool.
Where's the...
I don't know. Might be in the living room. Is it not in here? It's kind of appropriation-y. Like in a pedantic sense of like it's purely aesthetic, right? Well, the only thing is it's not just the colors. It's exactly the pattern. So it would be potentially confusing if you encountered someone else who was actually Ace and then they saw the glass and they'd be like, hey, and then you'd have to be like, nay. And that's kind of like, that just seems like a downer. But oh, I didn't know that. Apparently the white stripe stands for allies of the community. So I guess if ever there's an awkward encounter, you just point to the white stripe.
I feel like that's a dick move, no matter what.
It's probably fine.
I mean, like, there's a lot less Karens in the... Sorry. The dog and cat are fighting, and it just totally robbed words from everything.
It does.
Hey.
It does have that vibe. Look, it pays to think these things through, man.
No, I'm sure it's fine. It's not worth making a big deal over.
I should probably wait to see, like, if I even like them when they come in. Because, like, I could hate these fucking glasses.
Well, how much are?
It's $25.
Wow, they're. Oh yeah, that's because I forgot you were getting like the Magneto glasses.
Yeah.
So these are just.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
They're just, like, little frame plates.
That is cool. Fair enough, yeah. I feel like it's a little bit different when it's more muted in this way.
The gay men flag is also kind of nice.
Oh my god, I really like that. Those colors are amazing. And then again, I did not know there was a gay men flag,
Me neither.
but it's great. That kind of green going into that kind of blue.
Yeah, the 3-tier effect is actually really nice. The 3 different kinds of, like...
Well, shit. Fun, you have too much energy. It's the end of the day. You should be having no energy. Why don't you spend your day playing? Why do you save it all up for the last few minutes before the day comes to a close?
She even went on a trip.
She did.
She yelled a lot about it the whole time.
Oh, we learned, by the way, that this tumor, they think, is actually just where she got her last shot. Where did she get her today shot?
Right behind it. Or right, like, I think right
Oh
above
my
it.
god, she's going to be like the Hunchback of Notre Dame.
I mean, it's a very tiny little thing.
Well, this didn't appear immediately.
No, but she would have actually noticed it if it was there before the shot.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
And she definitely said it was there after the shot. So, like, that's
You know what?
probably what it is.
She does have like a little toughness that right there. I think she may develop another little friend. Anyway, it turns out it seems like it was probably like a blood pocket, at least according to the vet, because that's where she
Yeah.
got her shots before. So
Did you see that boob slap?
Yep. She reached out. She went for it. She shot her shot.
She did.
Oh no. Yeah. Hetero pride
What?
flag is very much that's
What
like
is it? I need to look this up.
apparently it's stupid. I would imagine that is something that's only really used by people who also would fly like
Our assholes?
well, it has like all lives matter vibes or thin blue line vibes. Yuck. Hey, at least it's at least it's the worst looking flag of them all.
It's offensively bad.
The one that she found, I don't know if this is the one you saw. It is black and white stripes, but then overlaid, it has the fucking male and female symbols like interconnected. Yeah. It's fucking ugly.
Ugh. Hot damn. Okay, no, apparently it's just supposed to be white and black, which is dumb still, too.
I think Beer nailed it by saying it looks like a prison uniform.
It looks like an error, actually. Like... Yeah, it's dumb. I don't know. I mean, whatever. Also, there are so few people, because most women don't even like being straight.
You heard it here.
I mean, give me a couple... If I wouldn't have met you... a couple more years... yeah. Let's just say my dating history before you was not stellar. I mean, go on TikTok, everybody. This is not a new sentiment. It's not really a hot take.
Men are trash.
There was one thing that I saw that was like for married women, like, would you, if your husband died, would you ever get married to another man? Like, it was like, no.
Wow.
Absolutely not. We all just plan. I mean, you already know my plans.
It doesn't sound complimentary, I'll say.
No, but like, it's not against you. It's not even against
I am just joking.
all men in general. But like, dating is a hellish landscape that nobody should have to put themselves through.
Yeah. Well, also, there is...
Oh, yeah, the man. Yeah, I told him about that one the other day.
Yeah.
Bear, 100%. 100% bear. What the fuck is a man doing in the woods? Just following you. Like, that's creepy. No.
Also, like, with men right now today, it's definitely a rough dice roll.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, buddy. Hey, choo-choo-choo. Well, it is time. I'm going to wrap things up here. Choo's going to wrap things up here. But thanks for hanging. Sorry for whatever this stream was.
I mean, I was only here for a minute. That was fun.
I'm not going to even bother to try to make any sort of promises about whether tomorrow is going to be a normal stream or not. But I can at least say there will be a stream. I'll leave you with that. Have a good night, everybody. I'll see you next time.